Luke, another game, another bunch of goals, another 3 points. I'm running out of ways to start these interviews, so I'm just going to say you're really good, aren't you?
We're good at some things. We have some things we need to improve, but probably the scoreline made it look like if you only see the score that it was an easy game. It wasn't. It was very, very tough. They relentlessly put pressure on us, and in the end, probably they were exhausted, both sets of teams, and we found some openings towards the end. We scored 2 late goals.
You don't think that was a fair reflection of the way that the game played out, 4-0?
Yeah, maybe in the end, because we did create a lot, but to create chances in this game was tough, and that was that maybe is not evident if you're watching from the side, or maybe, like I say, you just see the scoreline come in. But to create chances against this team was difficult, because they started off to try and deep block and see if they can counter. Gary's so experienced, he changed them, and they went man for man, and they chased everyone all over the pitch. They forced Sam into kicking the ball more, but probably a lot of the damage was done in the first half, and maybe some tired bodies at the back for them. So even when we did go long, we were able to jump on second balls and things like that. But it was tougher than it appeared.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think the scoreline flattered you at 4-0 in the end, but you said you did some things good today. What were those things then?
Again, I think that we pressed the ball and tried to recover it very, very quickly, which I was really pleased with. And the other thing that I think is important is that the team played in two ways today. The team played with calm, controlled build-up with a deep block, tried not to make an obvious error in the build-up to allow a counter-attack, and they in the most part of the first half they didn't do that. They didn't make mistakes in the build-up, and they tried to make their entries into the box, and in the second half they played like a really more spread out game, man to man, and they played both styles of football effectively, so I'm happy with that.
How much do you relish those opportunities to come up against somebody like a Gary Johnson, who's 67 now? I think he got his first job in management in 1986, and if anybody's going to know how to come here and make things difficult, it's going to be someone like him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I've been up against Gary in the past, and I worked for Lee at Bristol City, and I've seen how both men approach games of football, and they're brilliant, and I have so much respect for Gary. So he's going to be very, very tough opposition when you play against any of his teams, and you can see today, this team is not giving up at all, and they harassed us all over the pitch, and our players came off the pitch exhausted, absolutely exhausted. It's not like an easy, we just stroked the ball around 4-0. It's not that at all.
One of those players that did come off was Ruben Rodriguez. Did he come off through exhaustion, or did he come off because he picked up a little knock?
Yeah, he gestured over to me that he thought his game was done, and I don't think there's an injury. Maybe like some soreness that is too much for him to have played on. With Ruben, if he comes off the pitch, there's something there that's stopping him because he wants to play every minute of every game. But we won't know the extent of that until we have a chance to look at him more closely when we come back tomorrow. So hopefully the news is good and positive. But if not, we'll have to make arrangements for the team without him.
He missed his last penalty. There was no doubt who was taking this one, though. There was some kind of question as to whether or not it would get changed, but it was Ruben all the way, and makes amends. Really good pen.
Yeah, he's so he's so brave, and we all knew that he was going to step up and take it and wouldn't be flustered. I think the Kedwin one, the appeal that Kedwin had, and maybe as a penalty, we're not sure, but I think that one they would have found a tough job to get the ball off of Kedwin, I think, for that one, but it wasn't to be, so no, Ruben took his penalty brilliantly.
Connor Rawlinson, who knew he had that finish in him? That's the first goal he scored. It's only the second goal he scored for Notts in the entire time he's been here, and he's been here a while now, but the first time he scored in almost 3 years.
I think that when you watch the goal back, he really passes the ball into the goal, and when you see how he distributes the ball from the middle of the back three, and today again, not as many rangy passes that he plays when he breaks lines, but you see he has no backlift. He approaches the opposition, and then he can fire a pass accurate along the ground with pace, and he kind of done the same thing for the goal. And he was the key thing. The key thing for me with this goal is he's in the brilliant defensive position to stop a counter attack, and then capitalises on that position to score the goal. And I'm pleased for him. He deserved it.
How does that work now then? Because he shifted over to the right-hand side. Baldwin comes in the middle of the defence. Because Brindley was suspended, presumably he's available again for Tuesday's game. Does he come straight back in?
Well, I think we have to look and be honest whether or not this group in this formation with this team selection deserve to go again. I think probably they do. So, but Brins was fantastic this morning, and depending on how Aidan feels physically, how Connell feels physically, he did pick up a small knock early doors when he made this slide tackle. So we have to look at that as well, because tomorrow potentially guys come in like very, very stiff and maybe not in the best place to go and play again on Tuesday night. And then we're fortunate because we have Brins to come back in.
Castro's got a rocket in his right boot, and nice to see Bajrami get, because the one on Tuesday night probably comes off the defender's leg last. You might have checked and had a better angle on it than me, but surely even with the deflection they can't take that one away.
Yeah, this one is clean, and both goals were brilliantly struck. So happy for Kevin. He's been out the squad and working very, very hard. And he's exactly the mentality that we want. You know, again, speaking about the other day about Cairo and Ed Francis not being on the pitch as many minutes as they want, but both guys are incredible, honestly incredible, and they help the team prepare. They help the team perform on the pitch, because you know that there's two players with real quality sitting there on the bench waiting. You know, Toby took his time to be around the squad, but worked so hard in the training pitch, and Kevin's done the same. He's come in from West Bromwich Albion and immediately jumped on the way of behaving here at Notts at the moment. And the work that he's been doing, sometimes just himself with me and the coaching staff, just very, very small sessions, try to give him the detail, and he deserved that, because I thought the action that led to the goal, he was in a great position, took the ball fantastic. He knew his awareness was brilliant, so I'm really pleased with that.
Just finally, 7 straight wins. You've scored 3 or more in 6 of the last 7 games. You're top of the league. You got Bromley on Tuesday. How do you ensure that the same hunger is there so quickly off the back of a game like this, where it has been such a big scoreline again in your favour?
Well, I think the players understood that today was tough. They knew that today was a very tough game, and they had to earn that. It wasn't given to them easily. We have to know that there's another tough game coming, and I just spoke to the players in the change room and that they're not in there bouncing around. They're not, because they know that they had to work really hard to get this result today, and they know that they're going to have to work hard again on Tuesday night to get another result if that's going to be the case, and they're fully aware of that. So if anybody is showing any signs that they don't want to work hard and they think it's too easy, then they'll be taken out of the team. It's a simple answer.